Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NFL Spotlight tonight on Pittsburgh, where the Steelers and Texans will wrap up NFL Wildcard Weekend on Monday Night Football. 8 Eastern ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. Houston's riding a 9-game winning streak, is seeking the first road playoff win in its 24-year franchise history. Pittsburgh's looking for its first postseason victory since the 2016 season. From ESPN's Adam Schefter, Packers expected to try to work out a deal in the coming days to keep coach Matt LaFleur. Green Bay will likely need to make him one of the NFL's highest-paid coaches to keep him. Unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
It's hard to justify that for a head coach that hasn't gotten to a Super Bowl when he's had the highest-paid quarterback essentially the entirety of his tenure with your franchise. It's hard to do that when your team has gone 3 straight postseasons without winning a game.
Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, dealing with a sprained index finger on his throwing hand, will be good to go for Sunday's NFC Divisional Round playoff game against the Bears, according to his coach, Sean McVay.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Tuesday. Which playoff teams will be left in my top 5 power rankings? Find out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You Sue. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. What a gigantic weekend that spilled into Monday in the transfer portal. We got to talk about all of it. We got Winnie Watkins next hour, LSU quarterback Landon Clark next hour. We got a ton to do, but let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, this may very well be the greatest comeback since Lazarus. I mean, y'all, last week, Sam Levit visiting LSU. Looks like it's going great. LSU's pressing for a commit. Sam Levit's going to commit. Texas Tech has signed Sorsby. Kentucky flipped Minchie. There's 2 left at the dance, and they're dancing together, and it looks like it's going to go great. And then all of a sudden, another pretty girl walked into the room, and LSU left Sam Levit high and dry. He left, ticked off, went to Tennessee, and it felt like that ship had sailed. But Lane Kiffin has earned the moniker the Portal King for a reason. And here on Monday, the improbable happened as Sam Levit spurned Miami and Tennessee and committed to your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Absolutely stunning about face, considering where this thing was 4 days ago. That ship felt like it had sailed when LSU took their eye off the ball and started pursuing DeMond Williams. And we talked about it then. That was a risky play. You had the bird in hand with Sam Levit. You decided to go pursue DeMond Williams. Ultimately, that ends up cratering. You go back to Sam Levit, and let's give Lane Kiffin his flowers. Okay, now, it's also worth mentioning, he's the one that kind of screwed it up to begin with, all right? Like, if you want a football analogy, you're going in for the game-winning score, and no, how about this? You're returning a punt for a touchdown. Or, no, better yet, you catch the deep ball, you burn the secondary, and before you get across the goal line, you drop the ball. And then it's a touchback. Like, that would have been the game-winning score. Instead, now they got the ball at the 20. And the offensive player who dropped the ball said, Coach, I'm going in on defense. And you go in on defense, and you force a turnover, and then you go back in on offense and lead the game-winning touchdown drive. It was way more complicated than it needed to be, but you got it done. So Sam Levitt, the number one player in the transfer portal, is now committed to LSU. And when you think about how this went from before the portal opened, for all intents and purposes, Trinidad Chambliss was going to follow Lane Kiffin. We know what happened. Ole Miss upset Georgia. That whole thing got turned on its ear. They bring in Sorsby, who has a deal with Texas Tech. They pivot to Levitt. We just went through that. Damon Williams, that thing cratered. They go back to Levitt. And here you have it, man. Lane Kiffin, I don't know if he had to get down on bended knee, beg, grovel, plead, whatever he had to do. But he made a very aggressive move by getting his behind on an airplane and flew to Knoxville on Friday to go meet Sam Levitt and his family in between their trips to Tennessee and Miami. And even after Levitt visited Miami, he still picked LSU. Miami, which a year ago had a transfer quarterback go number one overall in the draft, and this year with a transfer quarterback is playing the national championship game, and they have a clear path to the playing field and a lot of money to spend, and they got the final say, they got the final visit, and still LSU lands Sam Levitt. I mean, that, like, bravo Lane Kiffin. I mean, it's a job well done. Kiffin, his staff, et cetera, everybody involved. Billy Glasscock, the GM, working out the contract, the money, the details, all that stuff. So amazing. Now, the deal itself. CBS is reporting here on Monday that Tennessee is still pushing to make one final offer to Sam Levitt. Now, I don't know anything about what Tennessee's going to offer. What I can tell you is conversation I had early Monday afternoon was that the Sam Levitt deal is agreed to but not yet signed. Now, that is very common. Last weekend, 9 days ago, we reported over at LouisianaSports.net that LSU and Braylon Moore had agreed to terms on a contract. LSU didn't announce the signing until Sunday, 8 days later. So, Harlan Berry. We broke the news on New Year's Eve that LSU and Harlan Berry had agreed to terms of a contract. LSU didn't announce the signing until Sunday, 12 days later. So, as I've come to understand, all of these contracts have provisions in them, like in an NFL or a professional sports contract where, like, you can't ride a motorcycle or you can't go snow skiing or something like that. They're trying to prevent injury with something unrelated to the sport, right? So things like that are layered into all of these contracts. The biggest hurdle is the financial terms, and that's done. It's all the redlining for the other, minutiae and verbiage in the deal. Now, my understanding of how LSU structured this with Sam Levitt, it is north of $5 million. And by the way, I do think LSU had to pay a little bit of a premium, a little bit of a tax because of what happened last week. The deal they agreed to on Monday is more lucrative than the deal that would have been on the table last week. I think that that's probably pretty standard. You lost a lot of leverage in that situation. But I do understand that there are injury provisions in Sam Levitt's deal. So as to say, the Lisfranc injury is a real thing. That is the thing primarily that gave LSU some pause last week and had them consider Damon Williams when he went in the portal and re-engage there. Sam Levitt had the Lisfranc injury. He had surgery in November. We know he's going to miss spring. Don't know how much longer that may linger into summer, fall. Don't know. So there's an unknown there. So my understanding is the provision agreed to is that if Sam Levitt plays a full season, he'll maximize his contract, and it's north of $5 million. I don't think I'm breaking any news with that number. There was a report last week that Sorsby got 5.5 from Texas Tech, and that's just the going rate for elite level starting quarterbacks, and this is the number one guy in the portal. Yeah, it's north of $5 million. But if the foot injury prevents him from playing, then my understanding is that number comes down. So we'll have to wait and see how all that plays out. But maybe the other really interesting part of this is that LSU isn't done. So on Sunday, they signed or agreed with Landon Clark. Landon Clark's the quarterback from Elon. That his Final Four was LSU, Michigan, Kentucky and James Madison. Landon Clark picked LSU. So you've got Landon Clark, who's a guy that's spent 2 years at Elon and is coming in now very likely as a backup here to provide some experience depth. Well, over the weekend, LSU also brought in former 5-star Husan Longstreet. He just spent his freshman season at Southern Cal, entered the portal, was recruited to Ole Miss, by the way, by Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss. Longstreet was in Baton Rouge this weekend, went into the portal. His first visit was LSU, came to Baton Rouge this weekend. Was at the LSU women's basketball game on Sunday. Great win, upsetting number 2 Texas, all that stuff. And I had multiple sources on Monday tell me, after LSU landed Sam Levit, that LSU is still pushing for Longstreet. They want 3. They want Levitt, Longstreet, and Landon Clark. And now let me editorialize, give you an opinion. That feels far-fetched. Longstreet just left Southern Cal because their incumbent's returning. It would stand to reason he wants to go somewhere where he knows he's going to play. But as I understand it, LSU is pitching him on a 10 to 15-year vision. Like, who's going to develop you? You make money here. Maybe you compete. Maybe you beat out Sam Levit. Maybe Levitt's injury limits him. Who knows? But even beyond that, you have a great opportunity here. You can make money here. The best coach staff to develop you for your NFL future, et cetera, is at LSU. That's the pitch. And they're trying to get Husan Longstreet on board as well. So just file that one away because they are still pushing to add a 3rd quarterback in this class. That feels a little unlikely. My guess is Longstreet's going to want to go somewhere he can start in 2026. What's the money look like from LSU as well when you had to pay more for Sam Levit than I think you were initially intending to spend on a quarterback? Like we told you what the number was when they were looking at Trinidad Chambliss before the portal opened, and that was sub $4 million. It was like the 3.8, 3.85 range. Now you're gone north of 5. So, like, how much more do you have to invest in that position? I don't have that answer for you, but I do know they're pushing for Husan Longstreet, and that's one to keep an eye on until he makes a commitment or a pledge or signs somewhere else. But as of right now, Lane Kiffin, self-proclaimed portal king, crown him. Tigers have the number 1 portal class in the country. They got the number 1 quarterback in the portal committed already, and they are building toward 2026 and a season where, with all that they have added and built this roster, there's a realistic expectation that this is a team that should not just be competing to get back to a nice bowl game, but a team that should be competing to get into a 12-team college football playoff. You got your quarterback in tow. All right, it's After Further Review. We are brought to you by our friends over at Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Show open every day, presented by Bud Light. As a matter of fact, yesterday, sitting out in the outdoor kitchen, cracked open a couple of ice-cold Bud Lights, a few cold pops while I was watching the NFL playoff games, while the temperature dropped while I was outside. Didn't matter. Lit me a fire in my outdoor patio area and drank a few cold pops. Nothing like an ice-cold Bud Light when you watch the Tigers, the Saints, the NFL playoffs, or whatever your favorite sporting event is. Make sure you drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, y'all, let me knock out a quick break. So the gigantic news, LSU lands Sam Levit. Chris Cartman covers Arizona State. Let's go out to the desert to get a little perspective on Levit. We'll do it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown, 2 amazing hotel properties. Of course, Renaissance Baton Rouge is gorgeous, sprawling, 13,000 square feet of meeting space right there on Bluebonnet, conveniently located in the middle of the city. Bluebonnet, right across the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Row. Gorgeous, tons of guest rooms with all different amenities you'd want. The gym, the office facility, Tallulah, the restaurant right there on the property, the terrace at Tallulah, the indoor-outdoor flow, pool, all of it. And when you're talking about hosting any type of event in 2026, make sure you go talk to Allison Crump over at Renaissance Baton Rouge, events coordinator for both Renaissance and Watermark. And I love what she says. We're in the business of saying yes. Fundraiser, if you're looking to have an awards banquet, some type of charity event, they can help you. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge. Right there on Bluebonnet, Renaissance Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
You know, I love Sam. Sam grew so much here, and, he really did. And I grew so much learning from Sam. And I wish, whatever his future holds, I wish him nothing but the best. I absolutely want to see him succeed. And I can sleep really well at night knowing that we helped him progress himself along his journey. That is now the craziness of college football.
It was Kenny Dillingham at the beginning of December, after we learned Sam Levit's hitting the transfer portal. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Let's head out to the desert, get a little more perspective here on a guy who's now committed to LSU. Chris Karpman covers the Sun Devils, part of the 24/7 Sports. It's a sundevilsource.com. Get him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Chris Karpman. Karpman with a K, by the way. Hey, Chris, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very well. Start maybe with from jump there. You heard the comment that Kenny Dillingham made back in December. What was the reaction there in the desert when Sam Levit announced that he would be finishing his career elsewhere?
Yeah, I think ASU fans appreciated what Levit helped ASU accomplish over the last 2 years, the Big 12 championship, 2024, and his redshirt freshman season. Quite impressive. This past season didn't go quite as well as hoped for ASU fans, and he got injured with a foot that needed surgery ultimately. There's some frustration that he decided to move on, but also I think an understanding of the economics of the current landscape of college football, and Levit being a top-of-the-market quarterback, ranked number 1 overall in the transfer portal. ASU had the ability to go get a starter elsewhere, spend less money, and bolster its roster at other positions in a way that probably would not have been as viable had it retained Levit.
Let's talk a little bit about that injury, because that's been a big sort of lightning rod topic here. What can you tell us about the injury he sustained, severity, limitations, all that sort of stuff, to whatever degree you know, Chris?
Yeah, so he had surgery to repair his Lisfranc, which is a midfoot stabilizing ligament, and he's going to be out for several more months. I think probably at most limited in spring ball at LSU this year. I'll probably be able to throw and do some position work. I doubt that he's going to be able to participate in 11-on-11, certainly. That's going to make it a little bit more challenging for him to get acclimated schematically and to get into a good rhythm with the other players around him on offense. He played through the injury initially he sat out a couple weeks, and then he played, and then it kind of didn't heal, and ultimately the nature of it led to the decision that he needed to have surgery to ensure that it would be better for this coming year.
Chris Cartman is with us, covers Arizona State for SunDevilSource.com. When healthy, what would you say is Sam Levit's ceiling, or how you would describe his game?
I think he has first-round NFL draft pick potential. He's a very good, bordering on great athlete at the quarterback position. Somebody who is excellent at scrambling. ASU didn't use him in a lot of design quarterback runs. And so his ability to go get first downs with his feet, third down, man coverage, those types of situations was a huge part of ASU's success the last couple of years. He has a good arm, a very good arm, can make all the throws. Off-platform, really impressive thrower. He escapes trouble in the pocket. He understands how to move and feel pressure in the pocket. Feel like he's probably not quite as accurate as he's going to need to be, and also had a tendency to really focus on getting the ball to Jordan Tyson, who's a superstar wide receiver, probably going to be a top 5, top 10 type of a pick in the NFL draft over the last couple of years. But at times, there was a sense that maybe other guys were open and the ball was forced to Tyson when maybe he wasn't open. But that's kind of a splitting hairs sort of a thing. I am interested in seeing how he does with even more weaponry at his disposal at LSU.
I wouldn't mind seeing Tyson in Louisiana wearing the black and gold just down the street in New Orleans. A lot of people mentioning that name. You just alluded to it a little bit, but the limitations or the room for improvement, you said maybe focusing a little bit there on Tyson too much, but anything else that you could look at and say, okay, that's where Sam Levit needs to improve to elevate his game?
Well, he's such a competitive person, and he has so much confidence in himself that I think that is a positive and also potentially a drawback to where you get overly focused on your ability to make the play that allows the success versus being more of an operator and distributing the football to where it's supposed to go. I think that's something that he's going to have to always be mindful of, and that he'll continue to get an improved sense for as he goes throughout his career. He's just a remarkably tough-minded, strong-willed person who also competes at such a high level in everything that he does, including off-season workouts, strength conditioning, sprints. A lot of players are surprised that he's like that for a quarterback, and he's very demanding of himself and others around him. But I think there's a little bit of a dual-edged sword to that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful segue. So I was going to ask you what he's like as a teammate and sort of the intangibles there for Sam Levit.
Well, before he became the starter at ASU when he first transferred in from Michigan State, Kenny Dillingham had a lot of conversations with him because his leadership style rubbed a lot of people the wrong way for somebody who hadn't ever successfully played before in college. And he had a tendency to kind of bark at teammates, and if they were in the wrong place on a route or they missed a protection or things like that, I think he had to adjust his style somewhat. And then as he became a lot more successful, then people respected him more for the things that he had to say. And that became something that was a lot better. Now, at this point, he's pretty established as a starter, as a high-level quarterback. And so those things, I think, are going to be less challenging for him.
You know, Chris, I don't know if you have any insight on this whatsoever, but Levitt's committed to LSU. There's a report now from CBS that maybe Tennessee is trying to prepare a final offer. Do you have any sense of how that might go, just knowing Levitt, covering him, if in fact, even after his commitment, Tennessee tries to jump back in with an offer?
I really don't know. When Sam Levit decided to not attend ASU season-ending football banquet before he had announced or had been reported that he was going to transfer, and I thought that was a mistake, and I said so publicly, just because from an imaging standpoint, better to just go and celebrate the team and, say goodbye to your teammates and your coaches and out of respect and all that stuff. I think that the fact that I said that, I think maybe rubbed the people in his camp wrong. And also I haven't been, since he decided to leave, I haven't really been trying to be consistently in communication with his camp to figure out the ins and outs of where he might be going. I find it hard to believe that if he indeed did, commit to LSU, that he would change his mind and end up at Tennessee. But you can't rule it out. We're also in an era where people are making financial decisions, and if a school comes back with another $1 million or something like that, like some people are going to be influenced by that type of stuff.
He is Chris Karpman, SunDevilSource.com, part of the 24/7 network. He's on Twitter at Chris Karpman. I'll give it some perspective here on Sam Levit. Hey, Chris, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much for squeezing us in today.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. If you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, go get it yourself. Or, gents, if you screwed up Christmas, didn't get her what she wanted, here's a chance to get it right with Lee Michaels, LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com is the website, 9 locations in all. Remember, if you're trying to buy that beautiful diamond engagement ring or anything, Eric and I actually have a wedding anniversary tomorrow, 14 years. Trying to celebrate a wedding anniversary, a promotion, a raise, a congratulatory gift for graduating school, whatever it may be, Lee Michaels has so many amazing options from watches and beautiful timepieces and rings and necklaces and pendants and bracelets, earrings, everything that you can imagine there at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks to Chris Karpman for joining us, giving us some perspective there on the Sam Levit situation. That will be fascinating if Tennessee is, in fact, preparing one final offer for Sam Levit, how that may go. One of the things I did tweet a bit ago in the conversation that I had earlier today with someone sort of familiar with this negotiation with Sam Levit is that the deal as of shortly after noon today had not yet been signed, but was verbally agreed upon. So the financial aspects of the deal are done, agreed upon. It's just redlining and getting some of the different ins and outs of the contract done. So look, teams can continue to call until a deal's signed. I don't expect that to change. But as you heard Chris say there, if someone's going to come and drop another $1 million on the table, do you pay attention? Sure, you pay attention. I don't know how realistic that is, and when you have this deal done, already agreed upon, what it would take to cause that backtracking. One other thing that is important to note, today is the beginning of a dead period. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week is a dead period because of the coaches convention. So there can't be any recruiting visits, either coaches going to see players or players coming to campus. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, it's going to be relatively quiet with respect to visits. You expect that to start again with the next wave sort of the portal cycle on Thursday. But LSU did begin the spring semester today, and you've got till the middle of the month to add or drop classes. But I guess it's like another 10 days or so to add or drop classes. So remember, if players are intending on going through spring football, they got to be enrolled in school. So that's now. So there's not a lot of time to make these decisions if you're going to be enrolled in school and to be eligible to participate in spring practice. So I don't expect this to drag out. I mean, this is something that's got to get done relatively quickly. All right, it is after further review. Let's knock out a quick break. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC. Also, a report today about the future of the college football playoff and potential expansion to 24 teams. I'll fill you in. That's coming up in about 15 minutes. Around the SEC next on AFR.
After further review.
We're into a new year. Maybe your strong desire is to put a pool in. Like, before you know, look, woke up this morning, it was 37 degrees. And that sucks. I hate being cold. We all do. That's why we live here. It's warm. And we get 6 months of pool season. If you want to be swimming this pool season, you got to call Duplessis Builders now. From the initial plans to the completion of your backyard paradise, Duplessis Builders is going to make that happen with you. So start at the website, duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net. Their showroom, by the way, is on Airline Highway in Gonzales. It's at the corner of Airline and Duplessis Lane, right next to the new Rouses. Always recommend you pop in and see them there, but so easy just to pop onto the website because they have an amazing tool for both pools and outdoor kitchens. When you can sort of design your pool or your outdoor kitchen right there on the website. So you have to pick your pool option. It'll show you 11 different designs. You could start picking your finishes right now. DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
You know, I was vacillating if I wanted to talk about this or not, because I know exactly the reaction everyone is going to have to this. And this is going to be completely and totally, like without exception, split on lines of fans and media. By now, I'm assuming most people have heard the Liam Cohen thing. Well, Muse, you didn't know what I was talking about. You've not heard this yet?
I have not heard this yet.
All right, so maybe everybody hasn't heard this yet. Okay, so Jacksonville loses in the postseason at home, go into the post-game press conference, and there is a credentialed member of the media. I just looked up. It sounds like, and Twitter tells me this woman's name is Lynn Jones, credentialed member of the media, and has this interaction in the post game. Most of you have heard it, seen it, but for those who haven't, this is how it went.
How you doing today? Lynn Jones, Jacksonville Free Press News. I just want to tell you congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank you.
You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank you.
And you did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so Lynn Jones, team mom. All right, I want to be very clear because I know how this is going to be perceived. And I don't think that there is any wiggle room here. If you're a human being, you listen to that and you go, what a great sentiment. There's usually so much negativity around sports and teams lose and good for her and that's awesome and we need positivity in the world. And that's all true. 100% agree with that. There is a time and place for everything, and the post-game press conference is not the time and place for someone who is a credentialed member of the media to take the microphone and offer words of encouragement to the coach. You want to do that? Okay. You do that after the press conference, off to the side, when they're walking into the press conference. There's many different ways to do that. And I understand. And I understand that there are going to be people who do not agree with that. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't agree with that, it's because you are not a reporter. There are members of the media who will not agree with that, but they are not reporters. The post-game, let me take sports out of it so I can, and I'm just trying to explain. I'm not criticizing or anything. I'm not criticizing this woman. I think it was an absolutely the total wrong place and time to do that. That's my opinion on the matter, which is actually a fact. And there's no way that a credentialed member of the media should ever do that in a press conference, in a credentialed media setting like that. But just to illustrate, let me take sports out of it to sort of explain. Can you imagine if, like, a candidate is running for political office, loses, they have a press conference after the election where they concede, and a credentialed member of the media, reporter, is there, and instead of asking a question about the campaign, says, "You ran a great race. I just want to commend you for the great job you did. You got a great future ahead of you." How would you feel about that? Like, remove the emotion of sports from it. The reality is a press conference, and this is one of the things that's hardest, and I really do sympathize with fans because in this day and age in media, and it's one thing I actually really lament about media in 2026, we've blurred the lines between, like, fan sites and new media and reporters. Like, what I do here, I'm not a reporter when I'm on this show. I am an opinion maker. I'm a talk show host. I'm here to entertain and give you opinions. But the lines blur. Like, Pat McAfee is a great example of this. Pat McAfee has done exceptionally well, otherworldly. And he had that opportunity because in this day and age, the gatekeepers are gone. And I love that. I love the fact that it is a true meritocracy. If you're a fan, you love your team, you want to start a podcast, a blog, a YouTube channel, and you grind at it and people love your work and you win, awesome. Congratulations to you. Keep kicking ass. That is awesome. I'm fired up for you. When I started in media more than 20 years ago, which in the span of time is a millisecond of a blink, but in the digital age, it feels like it might as well be 1732 because of how quickly and rapidly things move. There were gatekeepers. The only way you ever had an opportunity to speak into a microphone is if someone deemed you worthy. Now that's not the case. I got a phone. You got a phone? You have a digital audio and video recorder with access to anyone on the face of planet Earth in seconds. That's awesome, and I love that. So just to be very clear. but that does not make you a reporter. That does not make you a credible reporter. Like Pat McAfee is not a credible reporter. He is an opinion maker, he is an entertainer, and he is awesome at what he does. He's not a reporter. I don't want Pat McAfee in a post-game press conference. Post-game press conference is a super condensed time where the people who are hired to cover an event and to do so with pictures and video and words and your written word, spoken word, they have a very, very small amount of time to talk to the particulars involved in the story to be able to tell the story. You may have 5 minutes. There may be 6, 7 questions total asked in a press conference. You can't waste an opportunity with someone cheerleading in that. That's not the role of that. The role is to get context from the people involved to help tell the story. That's the role of that press conference. Like, for context, think about, people have asked plenty about, like, LSU here in this last 6 weeks since Lane Kiffin's been hired. Who are they targeting? Who's coming back? How the contracts were. Like, Lane Kiffin has not spoken into a microphone in 6 weeks. He was hired on a Sunday. He gave a Monday press conference. He's not spoken to reporters since. Nobody. He has not done a signing day press conference. He's not done a press conference to address hiring his staff or letting people go. He's not done a pre-portal press conference. He's done nothing. So every bit of reporting has been people trying to use sources of information to try to piece together what it is a very important time when you have people who are giving on-the-record access, and that's why those situations shouldn't be infiltrated by fans. We can all agree with the sentiment she was expressing. Like, what human being wouldn't agree with that sentiment? Amazing sentiment. Wrong place. And if you're going to say, well, you're taking yourself too seriously. Oh, no. You have to take yourself seriously. But you're damn right. If you're a reporter and you're a credentialed member of the media, you do have a responsibility. And you should take what you do very seriously. And I'll be damned if I'm ever sitting in a press conference cheerleading somebody. It's not the role. That's not why you have a press pass. That's not why you're credentialed. And honestly, I think one of the biggest faults are held with the teams that continue to credential new media and fans. And that may come off as pretentious to you, but the bottom line is reporters are there to do a job. I'm not a reporter, not when I sit in this chair. Now, you want to follow me on Twitter and I'm reporting news for LouisianaSports.net or writing reports there? Sure. And that does blur the line, and that's confusing. And so I always try, if I am editorializing, to put in big, flashing, bold lights that I'm giving you an opinion. You've probably, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've tried even more so now to do that and to be very upfront when I'm giving you an opinion and when I feel like I'm reporting news to you. Because the line is blurred. That makes it very, very challenging. I'm very sympathetic to the consumer. It's very challenging to know what's a report, what's opinion. It's not your job to know that. But that's why those lines exist. That's why those barriers exist. Like, there should be a degree of credibility that comes with being a credentialed member of the media. And unfortunately, we have blurred those lines. So, no, I don't think. Her sentiment was beautiful. Wrong time and place, 100%. That should never be in a press conference. That's not the role of the credentialed media there to cover an event. And again, I know with certainty, if you're not a reporter, you disagree with me wholeheartedly. And you're wrong. And if you are a reporter, you're standing and cheering right now because you understand that. My only intent in going to the lengths of explaining that is hopefully just to provide some perspective. I don't think I changed anybody's mind, by the way. I'm not expecting any of you to have had your mind changed by what I just said. What I hope is you'll at least give consideration to the explanation. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing. Man, we had some awful rain Thursday into Friday. Boy, it was bad weather. If you had an issue with your roof, we'd love to help you out. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. Me, Terrio, Tilly, Joe, our whole staff. Big shout out as well. I know there's so many of you who listen, watch every day in the 504. And one of our huge expansion initiatives in 2026 is to make more people aware that we're in New Orleans. It's not a new thing. We have an office, a physical office in New Orleans. Joe Morales, our partner, is lives in River Ridge. I mean, we're in New Orleans every single day doing work. So, yes, of course, our home base is in Baton Rouge. You see the office right off of I-10 with the big sign. But we do work all across the I-10 corridor in Louisiana. So it doesn't matter if you're in Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, everywhere. So we'd love to help you out. Commercial, residential, repairs, replacements. We do soft wash, gutters, all of it. parishbuilt.com. Just go to the website, fill out the form on the homepage. We'd love to help you out. parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. It's Parish Construction and Roofing. All right, I went long, so I want to make sure I stay on time here. So let me break, come back. I'll get to the headlines of around the SEC, the things you need to know. And then also, there is a report today about expansion of the college football playoff to potentially 24 teams. I'll fill in the blanks next. Oh, by the way, Winnie Watkins, LSU wide receiver, commit in 15 minutes. Landon Clark, LSU quarterback, commit in 30 minutes. Don't you move, it's AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Getgordon.com. You want to go to the website? Great place to start. Many different ways you could utilize it. So let's just walk through this, okay? You're in an accident. Boom. Someone hits you. Your car's damaged. What do? The worst thing that you could do right away is nothing. And maybe sub to that is just accept a quick check from your insurance company. You need an attorney to make sure you are getting everything you are entitled to. Someone that is experienced. And the great part about Gordon and his firm is that they have offices all over the state. So no matter where you are, if you've been in an accident, it doesn't matter if it's an auto accident, if it's a workers' comp claim, whatever. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You need representation. You know what to do. GetGordon.com, getGordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Trust isn't given. It's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 1. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, reliefwindows.com. There's a couple of, you know what? We missed it a second ago. Let's just do it formally. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Texas Longhorns.
Texas landed the top-ranked wide receiver in the portal, Cam Coleman, out of Auburn. I was told Cam Coleman's number was 3.5. You want him, you can have him. They also flipped running back Hollywood Smothers from Alabama. You hate to see it.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Deuce Knight has signed with Ole Miss. That's the former 5-star quarterback, spent his freshman season this past year at Auburn. So this is the insurance plan there at Ole Miss if, in fact, Trinidad Chambliss does not win his fight for a 6-year of eligibility.
The Florida Gators.
Florida landed Auburn wide receiver Eric Singleton, 5'10", 180. He's from Georgia. Recently declared for the draft, but instead he withdrew and will play another year. In this case, it'll be at Auburn.
Texas A&M!
Texas A&M football has added a commitment from Alabama wide receiver transfer Isaiah Horton, 6'4", 208. Played 15 games, made 11 starts this year for the Crimson Tide. He began his career at Miami. He'll finish it in College Station.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy landed a commit from 3-star Clemson safety Ricardo Jones, 6'2", 195. Started a dozen games at Clemson this season. He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Big one. Texas running back transfer C.J. Baxter committed to Joe Sloan in the Kentucky Wildcats. How about that? Florida native. He's out of Orlando. ACL injury cost him his 2024 season after he was named the Freshman of the Year in the Big 12 in 2023.
The Auburn Tigers.
Florida State transfer cornerback Shamar Arno has signed with Auburn. Originally committed to Auburn out of high school before flipping to Florida State. Played 11 games as a true freshman with 4 starts this past year. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. ARCCO, if you're a business owner, power goes out, what do? Call Arco. They got permanent standby power solutions. So power goes out, automatic standby generator, boom. Like for your home, except this is for your business. This is industrial Generac generator power for your business. Or you need a temporary solution, portable generator that could bring by when the power goes out. Boom, perfect. These are also like the big generation. Like if you're having a big event, like a fair, a concert, you need those portable generators to run the lights and the restrooms, all that stuff. That's this. It's Arco, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. Baton Rouge, east to Mobile, north to Little Rock, west to San Antonio. Draw a big giant circle. If your business is in that footprint and you need industrial Generac standby power, you need Arco. Arco Power Systems. ARCCO. Arco.com. 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 Arco. You want to do it? Arco.
Polo.
Thanks, Muse. Appreciate it. So, reports today that could be seeing some changes coming to the college football playoff. I think that is actually likely to happen. However, the report is that we're looking forward to potentially a situation where the college football playoff could expand to 24 teams. That's something that the Big Ten wants. But the Big Ten commissioner and the SEC commissioner effectively have to agree on a new playoff format. If they can't agree for 2026 on a new format, an expanded format to 16 or 24, whatever it may be, then they'll stay at 12. But what feels like it's most likely, and this Heather Dinich had this report today at ESPN, there's a strong support for a 16-team playoff to begin as soon as next year if Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey can agree on it. But the stalemate here is that the Big Ten would like to see it go to 24. Now, y'all know my feeling on this, y'all. I mean, 24, 32, like I'm good with all of it. And I know there are people going to say 24 is too many, 32 is too many. I don't care. But I think what's most important is you settle a championship on the field. I mean, think about this year. Like, think about the amazing football that we actually got to see. In a different era, we would have never gotten to see that Ole Miss-Miami game. In a different era, Now, I know Indiana's undefeated. They'd be in it. But, like, my goodness, what if you had Indiana and Ohio State both undefeated? Ohio State was ranked ahead of Indiana. Ohio State just gets in because of the logo. Give me what this is showing is actually playing more games, playing games, deciding champions on the field is a really good idea. It was debatable if Miami was going to get in. Now they're playing for a national championship because you played it on the field. I don't need anybody's opinion. Go play games. So if they go to 24, I'd love it. If they expand to 16 for next year, great. But those are the two things that seem to be on the table. If they can't reach an agreement, meaning Sankey and Petiti, they'll stay at 12 for 2026. So time will tell what ultimately goes to, but we're headed for more expansion of the college football playoff because more games will mean more dollars, and that's where we're headed. It's where we were always headed. All right, AFR presented by Relief Windows. Winnie Watkins joins us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020. Our friends over at the Williamson Eye Center, man, Dr. Blake Williamson, his group, they do amazing work. Did my LASIK 8 years ago, still seeing better than 2020. Perfect vision. Didn't even know that was a real thing, but it is. Maybe you're not a candidate for LASIK. No worries. They got other options. The Evo ICL is something that they've been doing at the Williamson Eye Center for years that's just now becoming in vogue, but they've done thousands of Evo ICL. ICL is an implantable contact lens. Point is, if it's LASIK or Evo ICL or PRK, the custom lens replacement, there's so many different refractive procedures that no matter your age or refractive issue, if you want to see with perfect vision, without contacts or glasses, they can make it happen. But you've got to start with that consultation. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at DecisionCriticalBR.com and give us a call today to get started.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgout.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. NFL Wildcard Weekend caps off tonight. Texans Steelers Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern, ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. Major challenge for Pittsburgh, facing a Houston team that's won 9 straight, led by the best defense in the league. Steelers receiver DK Metcalf returns tonight from a 2-game suspension, and he's part of the key to tonight's game. For ESPN's Herm Edwards.
Stingley, corner. How do they... D'Amico Ryans take away DK Metcalf? I would double him, and I'd put Stingley on the number 2 guy. I put my best corner on the number 2 guy. Double him and say, you got to beat me with your 3rd guy. And then we know this about Aaron Rodgers. Speed him up in the pocket.
Herman, Freddie, and Harry. The Packers expected to try to work out a deal in the coming days to keep Coach Matt LaFleur, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. John Harbaugh had his first formal interview since being fired by the Ravens last week for the Falcons' head coaching job. NHL Blue Jackets fired coach Dean Evison and hired Rick Bowness to replace him. Columbus in last in the Eastern Conference.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, which playoff teams will be left in my top 5 power rankings? Find out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. LSU quarterback commit Landon Clark will be here in 15 minutes from right now. Tigers got some other good news here on Sunday night into Monday morning as former Ole Miss wide receiver Winston Winnie Watkins picked the Tigers. Make that official. He's good enough to join us here. Winnie, we appreciate the time, man. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing awesome. How was your visit?
It was amazing. The facilities, the people, of course, I already know. It's just incredible. You know, it's a blessing to be there.
Hey, did you visit LSU when you were being recruited out of high school?
No, sir.
Okay, so first time on campus. What was your biggest takeaway?
True, just really like the technology is just like time seems better than Ole Miss. You know, Ole Miss is still like older to me. I would say like everything in the building, just like the computers, the VR setup they got for the facility is amazing. The treatment, the people, you know, there's just so many resources that you could use that's just 10 times better than a lot of places.
You know, you went into the portal. LSU was your first visit, right?
Yep.
So first visit, committed. Why not take any other visits?
I was going to take other visits, but I heard it's like a little dead period that's coming up, and I didn't want to wait after that because then a lot of spots was going to end up closing. So I was like, you know, this is a great opportunity I got. I don't want to waste no other time and go somewhere else and mess up the opportunity I already have.
You know, there's a lot of people who have talked about the relationship you have with Coach Kiffin and with the staff. In your own words, how would you describe your relationship with Coach Kiffin and Coach Weiss and the rest of the staff?
It's great. You know, coming from Ole Miss, we already had a great relationship. We went on a nice little run, you know, and then Coach Kiffin had to depart and head over to LSU, as everyone may know.
Sure.
But when we were there together, our relationship was amazing. You know, that's my guy. Like, he always made sure that I was good. He always looked out for me and looked at my best interests. So I feel like Coach Kiffin's a great guy, you know. At the end of the day, I feel like his decisions he makes is his own personal business, and I don't take nothing that he did in the past, like, against me or the team that he coached.
Winnie Watkins is with us. Winnie, you got to clear something up for me, man. I've seen different reports of you at 5'9" and reports of you at 6'2". How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Okay, all right, you're fine. Because I'm looking. Paul, can you pull this up? Like I'm looking at the ESPN homepage,
Yeah.
bro. It's got you.
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure how that happened.
Okay.
It was like that the whole. It was like that the whole season too, and they never changed it.
Dude, 5'9" and 6'2" is like a giant disgrace. It's not like 5'9". Sometimes they'll fudge like 5-10 pounds here or something. Like he's really 5'10", but they got him listed at 6 foot. 5'9" and 6'2" is a dramatic. That's like 5 inches of difference, man. Okay, so you're 5'10". If I asked you to describe your game, like what style of receiver are you? How would you answer that?
True, I'm really like a game changer. Like I feel like you put the ball in my hands, I'm gonna make a play. Every time I touch the ball, it's gonna always be an explosive play. Like I like just getting in the open field, making plays. I can route someone up. It's so many different ways I can beat you. I'm a very physical blocker. So like to be honest, I really got so many different ways of how I play. I can't really compare myself to one specific person. A lot of people say like Elijah Moore, and I see it a little bit like when they say it because Elijah Moore definitely kind of reminds me of my game. But, it's kind of different to me. Like, I have a different type of play style, I would say.
You're the 9th, or LSU added another one today, but that's 9 receivers they've added in this portal class. When you look at that, any hesitation that you're just coming into a really crowded receiver room?
At first, yeah. Before I came on my visit, I definitely was, like, hesitating to figure out, like, what was going on. But at the same time, once I came on my visit, everything, like, cleared up for me. I got a better understanding of everything and realized that at the end of the day, I'm going to go in there, compete, and do what I'm supposed to. And if I take care of my business, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And Winnie Watkins is with us. So what did they tell you about how they that cleared that up for you?
Really, pretty much just basically like these are the same guys I worked with when I was at Ole Miss. And we're coming from having a deep room at Ole Miss. We had 5 to 6 guys, 7 guys, getting the ball in the pass game. And we had to work together to be great, And at the end of the day, like I was a freshman last year, so as my freshman year, me getting 20-something catches, I really wasn't even supposed to play when you think about it, because Kiffin really doesn't play no freshman, but I earned it, From January when I first came in all the way till the season, I kept working and fought my way to being able to be in that rotation, and eventually I got playing time, And if I just come here and do what I'm supposed to, it's a whole different situation because I'm not a freshman anymore. They know how I play. I'm a up and coming sophomore. And I understand the offense. So now it should be a whole different program this year.
Big play waiting to happen. Winnie Watkins is our guest here for a few more minutes. Did you consider it also like staying and going back to Ole Miss for your sophomore year?
I never considered about going back to Ole Miss. I definitely knew I wanted to leave.
Was it always sort of your idea to think, because Coach Kiffin had recruited you as a freshman out of high school, that maybe you wanted to follow him?
As soon as Kiffin left and went to LSU, I definitely had like an idea of wanting to leave instantly because Coach Kiffin is like a receiver genius. When I did my visit as a high schooler coming in, I was looking at everything he had and what he did from the past, and it was just like incredible. He had tons of guys over thousands of yards. He got tons of guys in the NFL that just play the wide receiver position. It's like a no-brainer.
Is it gonna be weird after playing for Ole Miss, putting on the purple and gold?
Nah, yeah, for sure. I got on the sweatsuit right now, and it kind of feels crazy to me.
I can imagine, man. It's just what it is, man. It's kind of like free agency in the NFL. You get drafted by a certain team, maybe you sign somewhere else. It's just the nature of it, man.
I got to definitely get used to it. It's definitely different, but I love it right now, though. It looks amazing.
Hey, man, tell us before you go. Tell us something that LSU fans maybe don't know about Lane Kiffin or about Charlie Weiss. We're all getting to know these guys. They've just been here for a little while.
I would say people on Twitter take a lot of stuff that Coach Kiffin says on Twitter like super serious, but in reality, he's a good guy. He's pretty fun to be around, and he has a lot of personality. So, don't take everything he says on Twitter serious. Basically, that's what I'm getting at. Like, he be playing around. And then Coach Weiss is a great guy too. Me and his relationship grew more as the playoffs because once Coach Kiffin left, Coach Weiss started like stepping up and talking a lot more. And during the playoffs, it was great to finally get to have an understanding of what he thinks like, and moving into a new program, just growing my relationship with Coach Weiss. And he's a great guy too. And I definitely could tell that he loves what he does, and he's a great offensive coordinator.
What about George McDonald? So he's your position coach is coming over too.
Yep. Yeah. G-Mac, that's my guy too. Sometimes we battle it out, but at the end of the day, we both know we love each other, and we got like a really good relationship and like understanding each other. You know, like at the end of the day, we know we both got a job to get done, and he's a really good receiver coach. And when we was at Ole Miss, he really helped me figure out things I need to figure out to be able to get on that field. Like he was just telling me, like, you got to follow the plan, stick to the plan, you do what you're supposed to, everything will work itself out.
Hey, do you prefer people call you Winston or Winnie?
It doesn't matter to me. A lot of people call me Winnie because of my TikTok, but like it doesn't. Whatever anybody else wants to call me, I ain't even tripping.
What do your friends call you?
Both.
All right, I'll go with Winnie, man. I'll go Winnie like Winnie the Pooh. I like that, man. There we go. We'll roll with Winnie.
Yeah.
He is Winston Winnie Watkins, new LSU wide receiver. Hey, man, congrats on your decision. Good health, continued success, and all that stuff, man. We'll catch up down the road, okay?
Yes, sir. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. We appreciate it. That is Winston Winnie Watkins coming over from Ole Miss. Guy who might be throwing him some passes, Landon Clark, is going to join us here in just a quick second. Committed to LSU out of Elon. We'll get to that in a second. We are brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com with locations all over South Louisiana. You're never far from a Shawbills location, ShawBillsTire.com. Remember, name brand tires at wholesale prices. They'll treat you like family, which keep you coming back year after year after year. As a matter of fact, I think I told you this last week. The little oil change indicator came on my dash. I'm due for an oil change, so you know where to go. You go to Shawbills. I mean, it's one of many things they can do. Tire rotations, you check engine lights on, brakes squeaking, need new wipers, everything. They can help you out over at Shawbills. But, of course, they're going to sell you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. So if you're in the market for new tires, you go to the website. There's a promotions tab at the top as well. You can see all the specials. And what they do is they work really hard to combine like the manufacturer offer with their own in-house offer, and they'll pair those to get you the best price possible. They guarantee it, as a matter of fact. It's part of the Charlie's Dozen. Buy tires at Shawbills, see them advertised cheaper somewhere else. They'll refund you 125% of the difference. It's crazy. It's Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills. Well, we keep you rolling. Thanks to Winnie Watkins, man. Good convo. It was interesting. Like, that's one of the if any of these portal commitments are surprising, that should be the least surprising. It's one of the ones that we sort of had talked about. As soon as Lane Kiffin came over, there were a handful of guys that, for all intents and purposes, seemed like through agents, representation, stuff like that, were going to happen. He told you he never gave any consideration to going back to Ole Miss. That it was always, as soon as Lane Kiffin left, he was going to leave. And interesting, he didn't set up other visits. There's a dead period right now. Couldn't take other visits. Had the offer from LSU, so he took it. So, and he's 5'10", not 6'2" or 5'9". That's a big discrepancy. Like, who at ESPN.com screwed that up? I mean,
and how do you screw that up? Like, that's not like a typo. Like, you can't just say, oh, it's a typo.
If you're looking at the chart, like if you're looking at the Ole Miss roster, like maybe you're looking at a different receiver.
Maybe.
Because there's like Deuce Wallace, right, who I think is 6'2". Maybe they're going through it and scanning like you have Watkins and Wallace right by each other.
Fair.
And so you, 6'2", and you just mess it up. But you would think, I mean, you just said, look, they screwed that up all season long. I mean, you figured at some point they would have changed that, but whatever. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. From the pass catcher to the passer, Landon Clark, LSU quarterback commitment out of Elon. He's going to join us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, if you haven't called River City's 1 Hour Air yet for your heater safety check, it's not too late, y'all. And, last night, temps got down into the 30s. And we're looking at 30s for the lows all this week. So you're going to be cranking up that heater. And, one of the reasons really why I implore you to call River City's 1 Hour Air, look, this is standard maintenance. We just talked about, like an oil change for your vehicle. You should do this every year, in the spring for your AC, and in the fall, you should move into the winter for your heater to make sure it's clean, safe, efficient, tuned up, ready to run efficiently, which will extend the life of the unit. It'll make it run more efficiently so you save money, but also for safety. Man, sometimes you hear funny noises or smells from your heater. Don't risk that, y'all. Call River City's 1 Hour and make sure the thing is running safe. 752-0001, 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Clark on 3rd and goal. Here's a blitz. Goes short. Touchdown, Phoenix.
Hope to hear that time and time again in the purple and gold. Landon Clark, LSU's first quarterback commit in this portal class. Good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Hey, man, thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself? Yeah, thank you for having me on.
It's our pleasure, man. Thank you for making the time and what's got to be a really busy time. Start with a pretty obvious one, man. Why'd you pick the Tigers?
Man, it's the hot place to be right now. I think it's one of the best. It's definitely the best environment in college football. I mean, as a 20-year-old kid, why would you not want to run out that tunnel into Death Valley? And, I mean, just on top of it, the coaching staff, man, Coach Wise, Coach Kiffin, why would you not want to play for these guys? I mean, these are the best coaches in the nation.
Saw a video of you on your official visit, standing there watching the video board in Tiger Stadium. Walk me through what that moment was like for you.
It was amazing. It's something that I've dreamed of my whole life, being in that position, standing in that stadium. Just, you can, when you walk in that stadium, you can feel the history, and it's something I want to be a part of. And hopefully, I can put my name into the history books one day in LSU.
Was this, your Final Four included Michigan, James Madison, and Kentucky. How tough was this decision for you?
Honestly, the visit I was looking forward to the most was this LSU one, and that's it was on the back end because the plan was in place to meet Coach Weiss because he was still coaching at the time at Ole Miss. But I was looking forward to the LSU one more than any. And when I went there and I
my second day there, it felt right. Like, I already knew this is where I wanted to be. There's no other place like it. And this is where I'll hopefully be, successful one day.
Landon Clark is our guest. He's on Twitter at _Landon Clark, Landen Clark. Y'all give him a follow, give him a shout out. Hey, let's go back through that recruitment then, if we could, Landon. You said obviously LSU was on the back end because Charlie Weiss was still coaching. When did LSU first reach out to you?
They reached out to me as soon as the portal opened. They were actually one of the first schools to kind of come into consideration for me. And a big thing for me is, just being genuine and loyalty and things like that, like just being honest with your word, keeping your word. And they've done that since their very first conversation that they've had with me and also my agent. Everything from the moment they first talked to my agent till they first talked to me, everything has correlated in the same exact way. And everything has happened the way that they said it's going to happen, which is really huge for me.
Can you go a little deeper there and maybe elaborate, like maybe give me an example of something that they did, they said was going to happen that way, and it played out that way?
For example, they said, hey, Landon, we want you to come down here on Friday and Saturday so you can meet Coach Weiss. Well, Coach Weiss, obviously, he coached in a game Thursday night against Miami. They ended up losing, which sucks. But it's good for LSU because now he's all in.
Right.
And he had a long day of traveling on Friday. That was my first day there on that visit. And we went out to dinner. It was Coach Dane, the quarterback coach. We were sitting there with me, my family, another recruit, an O-lineman from Tennessee who actually committed. It was his family as well, the O-line coach, a couple other coaches, and Coach Weiss actually showed up. And that really meant a lot to me. They were true to the word. They said, hey, Coach Weiss is going to be at dinner. Me, I wanted him to go rest. He had just worked his tail off. I know the way that he is, the man he is, the coach he is. I know he worked his tail off. I wanted him to go home and rest. But seeing him show up to that dinner, it really meant a lot to me, and it showed how much that they really cared.
Did you have a relationship with anybody on this staff before they first reached out when you entered the portal?
No, I actually didn't.
Wow. What was your – this is really interesting because we're talking about a very compressed time frame. So basically 10 days ago, right, that they first reached out to you. So, this is like warp speed from that to now being committed. Did they tell you how they found you?
No, they actually didn't. They have their ways, and Coach Kiffin and Coach Weiss are incredible. So they have their ways. They didn't tell me, but I'm sure it was crazy.
Yeah. I know I've seen, just following your social media since you've been here and all, kind of, you've talked a little bit about this, about how, Elon was the first to give you the opportunity to play college football. Did you have much of a high school recruitment?
I didn't have too much of a high school recruitment at all. I was actually, I got recruited a lot to play safety. I originally thought that I was going to play safety in college, and ultimately that's what I wanted to do at that time. But Elon came in, and they told me that they wanted me to be their quarterback, and I had never heard that, throughout my whole process. So it kind of shifted my mind, and, deep down I was like, you know what? Maybe I do want to play quarterback. Maybe this is for me.
Does watching – this is an obvious one that you're probably going to answer 1,000 times every interview you do, I'm sure. Did watching Trinidad Chambliss this year at Ole Miss in this offense have an impact on your decision?
1,000%. 1,000%.
How walk me through that a little bit and how you processed watching him go from a small school to the success he had.
It was honestly amazing, how under the radar he was, jumping from a D2 school to Ole Miss, and ultimately he kind of they weren't bringing him in to be the guy, and he just came in, he worked his tail off, and now he's going to be probably the third quarterback picked off the board. He's probably going to be a first round pick, and seeing how they brought somebody from that level and just completely, I wouldn't say changed his game, because Trinidad has always been a really, really good player. Just kind of, they gave him this level of popularity and playing on this high stage of football and just letting him show the world what he can do, that's really kind of made me think like, man, I think that I can do the same exact thing.
What did this coaching staff tell you about your role in 2026?
They have said it is the same exact role how Trinidad was when he came into Ole Miss. So it's honestly pretty cool, sitting back and watching, like going back in time, before I had ever talked to LSU, just watching college football in general, hearing about this Trinidad Chambliss kid and, kind of reading a little bit about his story and seeing how this is all falling into place. It's been really, really cool.
Now, today they also took a commitment from Sam Levitt. What's your reaction to seeing that news?
My reaction, I expected it because we sat down, the coaching staff and we sat down and we had that conversation, kind of their plan and idea for the portal. So I fully expected it, and I would have never announced, my commitment to that place if I was unaware of something like that.
What about, because they also brought in Husan Longstreet this weekend, and some talk that maybe they're looking at a third. Would that be okay with you if they added a third?
Yeah. I mean, that's simple. They got to fill the quarterback room up. That's just that's how college football is. The way that everything has shifted and changed is pretty crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm a pretty competitive person. I like to go out there and compete. So I'm going to work my tail off and control what I can control.
Got a couple more for you. Your time very much appreciated. Landon Clark is our guest, LSU quarterback commit. By the way, have you signed? Is it like official, or are you committed?
I haven't officially signed, but I have committed.
Okay. How would you describe your game?
I would say I'm a dual threat quarterback. If I had to stick my nose in there and get dirty, lower my shoulder to get an extra yard, I'm gonna do it. I'm whatever the coaches, whatever the team, anything, whatever they need, I'm willing to do it. If it means that at the end of the day our team is going to be successful, we're going to be put in the best situation possible, then I'm going to do it.
Where would you say you need your biggest, or is the biggest room for improvement?
For me, I would say it's definitely just my pocket presence and taking the jump from FCS to SEC. The practice reps that I'm going to get in the spring are going to be huge for my development as a player. And because ultimately going in this spring ball, those are game reps. Taking those reps and, using them to my advantage will help me a lot.
Had you been to Louisiana before you came for your visit?
No, it was my first time.
What'd they feed you, man?
We went to this little, the newer thing. It's like a pickleball restaurant. It's kind of like Topgolf, but with pickleball.
Yeah. It's court to table. Great spot.
Yep. Yeah, it was good food too. And then that night we went to Colonel's, the steakhouse.
Yeah, Colonel's Club. Yep.
That was really good. The next day we went to SoFlo for lunch. Those were the three restaurants we went, but the food was amazing.
You're gonna gain some weight, bro. I promise you that much, man. Make sure you try to keep the carbs down as best you can and run. But when the summer gets here, you ain't gonna worry about it, man. Just walk outside, you'll start sweating. He is Landon Clark, LSU quarterback. You'll get him on Twitter, X, whatever, @_Landon Clark. You want to give him a follow. Hey, man, we appreciate the time. You're very generous to jump aboard with us during a really busy time. Good health, continued success, and all that stuff, man. We'll catch you when you get to town, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. That is LSU quarterback Landon Clark. You love stories like that, man. It's there's an honesty, a transparency that goes along with it, and the other part too, when you talk about how the job that the LSU staff did in recruiting him and being transparent. And the other thing too, did you hear what he said about Charlie Weiss going to dinner that first night? How it was the day that he got back to town from losing the Fiesta Bowl against Miami. And no doubt, a long day of travel, was tired, but showed up at dinner because he said he would. And I think it goes to illustrate again the challenge that this coaching staff had, the back and forth, trying to build this roster while continuing to coach at Ole Miss. And you heard Landon Clark say it there as well. Like, the reason LSU was his last visit was because they wanted to make sure Charlie Weiss was here, but because of the back and forth, they had to postpone it. So thankfully, LSU was able to navigate all of this the way they did. And, the Trinidad Chambla story is something to sell, man. If you're a lower division quarterback, like Landon Clark at Elon in the FCS, hey, look at what we just did with this kid from Ferris State in Division II. Just turned him into a first round. We saw the talent, developed him in our offense, made him a first round talent. Okay. That's a powerful story to tell. Anyway, we appreciate Landon Clark. And Winnie Watkins before him, if you missed that. We'll get everything on demand. Remember, AFR On Demand is presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. All right, let me knock out a quick break. We've been like wall-to-wall LSU for the first half of this show, I should say. Let me knock out a quick break. Pro Football Focus has put out a new mock draft. I'm just going to be fascinated to see what these sites project, these prognosticators project the Saints to do with their top 10 picks. So we'll delve into that a little bit here. And in 30 minutes, I want to get to a full portal roundup. If it feels like you're swimming in it, don't worry. I'm going to make it concise with everything you need to know. That's coming up in 30 minutes at the top of hour number 3. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
REV. Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com. 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 Backed by 90 years of local service to our communities. We are talking about high-speed internet, home automation, cable, all of it. Home or business. There are more than 70,000 Rev customers between home and businesses that trust Rev. REV. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com. My guess is if you're like me, at some point in your life, you've been really frustrated with your cable or internet service provider. And maybe the inability to get someone on the phone, long wait times, talking to somebody overseas or in a different state at a call center that's not here. One of the great things about Rev, you never have to worry about that. They're all local. Their call center is local, right here. If you have an issue, call them. They're here. REV. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Glad you're hanging out with us here. Always appreciate Brandon Holly and the crew over at Relief Windows. Y'all check them out. Energy efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. They do it all. Going into the office, into their showroom, they do this 3D modeling. If you're like me and it's hard to just look at like a sample of what and think, okay, what's that going to look like in my home? They can do a whole 3D model to show you exactly what it'll look like in 3 dimension on your home. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. A Pro Football Focus has an NFL mock draft that they updated today. This is from, it is Max Chadwick over at PFF. They have Fernando Mendoza going number 1 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. Dante Moore, number 2 to the Jets. Linebacker Arvell Reese, 3 to Ohio State. Look, we always know that there's going to be trades in the NFL draft, so take it for what it's worth. Reuben Bain, 4 to Tennessee. Carnell Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State, 5 to the Giants. Jordan Tyson of Arizona State, the wide receiver, 6 to the Browns. That would bum me out if both those guys come off the board before the Saints pick. Caleb Downs, 7 to Washington. And then 8th overall, they have your New Orleans Saints taking Clemson defensive lineman Peter Woods. They write, Brian Brzee hasn't lived up to the first-round billing through 3 seasons, so the Saints look to replace him with another Clemson defensive tackle here in Woods. Impressive 87.1 career PFF grade with prodigious power and quickness at 6'3", 310. The interesting thing about Peter Woods is, as our buddy Mike Detillier would say, the look like Tarzan, play like Jane. Peter Woods fits the bill and the mold. The productivity wasn't there at Clemson. And it's something we talked about a ton leading up to the season opener with LSU and Clemson this year. So it's interesting because we have this sort of awareness of Peter Woods because we talked about those great defensive linemen from Clemson all throughout the offseason leading up to the season opener with LSU and Clemson. That would not sit super well with me if they went defensive line. And we know that the Saints, by and large, invest heavily in the NFL draft at the top of the NFL draft on the line of scrimmage, really on both sides of the line of scrimmage. If you look at like the New Orleans Saints NFL draft history, it's and I don't like. I'm not going to be opposed to drafting at the line of scrimmage. I mean, when you think about the great Saints teams, I mean, you were great when you had Jonathan Goodwin and you had the best guard tandem in the NFL, and with Carl Nicks and Jari Evans, and you had Jermon Bushrod, and you had Zach Strief. I mean, you were really good. You invested in your offensive line, and even on the defensive line, where they've drafted so heavily with guys like Cam Jordan and Sheldon Rankins, and all throughout and just look at here recently: Kelvin Banks this year, Taliese Fuaga last year, Brian Brzee. Before that, it was Olave and Penning on the line of scrimmage. Peyton Turner in 2021, Cesar Ruiz in 2020, McCoy was your highest ranked pick or highest rated pick in 2019, Davenport in 2018. I mean, it's just. Even in 2017, you had Lattimore, but you also had 2 first-round picks. You went with Ramchick. In 2016, it was Sheldon Rankins. 2015, it was Andrus Peat. I mean, all the way back to 2015, they've taken a lineman with a first-round pick or their top pick every year of the draft, except the 2 years where they had 2 first-round picks. They took a lineman with one of the 2 first-round picks. I mean, the point is, like, it's just very clear that's where this team is invested. And I'm good investing at the line of scrimmage, but sometimes you invest at the line of scrimmage, you have over-invested sometimes to the detriment of the rest of your roster. And I think with the Saints' misses on the line of scrimmage with some of these picks, it has left you vulnerable in other spots. And I think when we look at the New Orleans Saints this year, I hate to say it this way, but I think Brandon Staley's defense is almost going to be a victim of its success. And look, they struggled early, and I think there is still a little that remains to be seen, because while over the second half of the season, they were one of the top-rated defenses in the NFL, that was against a lot of Jets, Titans, Bucks, Falcons. You know what I mean? Like, you were playing the bottom of the league. Earlier in the season, when you were facing better offenses like Seattle and Buffalo and the Rams, you were giving up. You were losing by double digits on the road in those losses. But you look at the Saints this year and their run defense, pretty much smack dab in the middle of the league in the run defense. So not great, but good enough to where I would say if you can survive, Brzee going into his fourth season, you invested in free agency in Devon Gottschall this past year, and you were more than serviceable on the defensive front, and you also used a draft pick, this past year on the big Texas defensive lineman, and Vernon Broughton with a third-round pick who got injured. He'll be back next year. I think it's hard for me to justify using another top 10 pick on a lineman. I think you've got to get more explosive offensively. And the single biggest decision the Saints are going to have to make this offseason is what type of contract do they offer Chris Olave? Olave was 6th in the NFL in targets this year. We've talked about him plenty. He was second-team All-Pro. By the way, congrats to him. My contention remains that I think Chris Olave, look, he stat compiled this year because he was 6th in the NFL in targets because the Saints didn't have any other receivers. They traded away Rashid Shaheed. Devon Vele got hurt late in the season. I mean, you're throwing a practice squad guys. So, yeah, Olave got all the targets. I think he really struggles against elite-level corners and struggles to make contested catches. As a number 2, I think he could be like the best number 2 in the NFL. But I think he's a bottom half number 1 in the league. So what they do financially as far as an investment in Olave is going to be interesting, but I think they got to add an explosive playmaker. That's why I'm hopeful that one of those top-tier wide receivers, if it's Tate or Tyson, are available at 8. And I'm not typically someone who's excited about using a top 10 pick on a receiver because you can find receiving talent later in the draft and elsewhere. But the Saints just haven't had that guy ever. I mean, Marcus Colson was the greatest receiver in the history of the franchise by the time he retired, but he was a 7th-round pick and didn't exactly have top-end speed. He was a menace over the middle, which made him so awesome. He caught everything. But the true game breaker that you have to scheme around, a Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson type. Look at what JSN's doing right now in his career. I mean, those Saints never had that guy. So I'd love to see him draft that guy to hopefully help supplement Tyler Shuck to elevate this offense. And if you went Olave, that first-round pick, and then you're also adding Devon Vele, and we'll see what Jalen Polk might do coming off injury, that's interesting to me. Like, you got to help your offense be better. I mean, Tyler Shuck did a lot, with smoke and mirrors this year. It's incredible to watch him elevate effectively a practice squad offense in the second half of his rookie season. Give him some help, man. You've drafted your bookend tackles. You're getting Eric McCoy back healthy. If you're concerned at one of the guard spots, go in free agency and spend money on a guard. But I think Brandon Staley, you're going to get reinforcements with Broughton coming back off of injury, a guy that this defensive staff drafted last year, which you hope can be an impactful guy for you. It'd be hard to justify for me anyway, using another first-round pick, another top 10 pick on a lineman. And you've missed there. Go fortify other parts of your roster. See if they can. All right, it's after further review. Boy, I love telling you about Supper Club. Was there on Wednesday last week. Actually, Erica and I, our anniversary is tomorrow. So Saturday, Erica and I will be at Supper Club for our anniversary dinner. Really looking forward to that. Chef Layton and the crew over at Supper Club are awesome. I tell you all the time, like if you're going to celebrate something, a birthday, an anniversary, graduation, a raise, a promotion at work, whatever it may be, there's no better place to go to celebrate all of life's important moments than Supper Club. Like if you're a foodie, you're going to love Supper Club because whatever you have there is going to be the best of whatever you order anywhere. And I know that the most common misconceptions about Supper Club that hopefully over these last 2 years we've been able to dispel. Number one, although club is in the name, it's not an exclusive club. Like you don't have to be a member to go. It's open to the public. Number two, people say, oh, do I have to wear a sport coat? No, you don't. The stated dress code on the website, you have a collared shirt, but you don't have to wear a sport coat. I love to throw on a sport coat when I go to dinner, so I do that when I go to Supper Club. There's always open seating at the bar. That's something they instituted about a year ago. Anytime, 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. You can always walk in, walk up without a reservation, have dinner at the bar, have a great cocktail, glass of wine. But man, you want to dine for the same price you could at any other fine dining restaurant. You can do it at Supper Club. Now, you want to go order the $5,000 bottle of wine, the $400 shots of cognac, or the Australian Wagyu. Yeah, I mean, you could do all. You want the Omi beef, which comes from this farm in Japan that you can only get at 2 restaurants in the U.S. You could do that. Absolutely. You want the greatest prime steak you'll have? You want an amazing Chilean sea bass, the lamb chops, the most incredible dining experience? You can do it at Supper Club for, the same price you would at any other fine dining restaurant. But the experience at Supper Club is unmatched. SupperClubBTR.com for your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. You still have Tigers and the Pros coming up in 15 minutes from right now. We'll give you a portal roundup. If you missed it, you just jumping aboard, you probably know LSU added quarterback Sam Levitt, the number 1 player in the portal, committed to LSU earlier today. Landon Clark a day ago, so 2 quarterbacks on board. The Tigers are up to 28 portal additions. So I'll catch you up on what you need to know about this portal class and what needs remain coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. Stay with us. It's a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
New year, new home? Well, you know what to do. Call Darren James. Not only will Darren sell your home, he'll help you find a new home as well. And there's just nobody better. Not my opinion. That's a stone cold fact. Absolutely objective data. The Wall Street Journal Real Trends list, which come out every year, Darren James this past year was number 14 in America on the transaction side, meaning there were only 13 realtors in the entire United States of America. There's 1.5 million licensed realtors in America. Only 13 realtors in the entire country closed more homes than Darren James did a year ago. Stunning. He's right here in our market. So how does Darren get to the closing table more than anyone else? Well, he's got the right people on his team. He has all the processes in place. He's going to treat you great, and he's going to get results. 335-7666, that's Darren's number, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at lockmeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 2 here from the Raising Cane's studios. Big shout out to Relief Windows, Brandon Holly, and the gang over there. We'll get you a transfer portal roundup from LSU here, everything you missed over the weekend. Some other gigantic news as Caden Durham is going to return to LSU. We'll tell you kind of what happened there with the running back spot, some offensive line chatter. That's all going to come up here in about 10 minutes after the top of the hour. Right now, Muso as Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, big day in the NFL yesterday in the wild card round, really in multiple of the games. We'll start with Jacksonville and Buffalo. Brian Thomas Jr., 2 receptions, 20 yards, and a touchdown. Those were his only 2 targets. He actually scored the first touchdown of the ball game to put the Jaguars up 7-3. That was a fantastic back-and-forth game, and somebody who was involved heavily in it was on the other side in Tre'Davious White. He just had a phenomenal day at cornerback for Buffalo. 2 tackles, but that really wasn't the story. The 3 passes defended were the story. He almost intercepted 2 of them. One of them stopped a touchdown, and then the third one caused the game-winning interception. He was in coverage, tipped the ball up in the air, and a teammate grabbed it. His fingerprints were all over that one. Kayshon Boutte, very, very good night on Sunday Night Football. 4 receptions for 66 yards. The 4 receptions were on 4 targets. He almost didn't play in this game. Was questionable for the majority of the week, but sure enough, they needed him, and he responded very well. Kayvon Chaisson was on the defensive side for New England. 2 sacks. I mean, they had Justin Herbert in hell, and Chaisson was a big part of that. So 2 sacks in the game for him as part of 3 tackles. He also had an additional hit on the quarterback as well. The sweepstakes for Alex Bregman is over. He will be a member of the Chicago Cubs. 5 years, $175 million. That's the deal for Breggs.
Oh, you hate to
$35 million a year and a no-trade clause as well. Looks like the Sox, the Red Sox that is, not Chicago, the Red Sox finished second. They were about $10 million short, and there was no trade clause. They are a small market team, and we'll move on from that. They spin like it. Naz Reid.
Devastated.
There you go. 17 points, 11 boards, double-double, 7 of 18. He was awesome again for the Timberwolves. They won it by 1 point, 31 minutes off the bench. How about that? Should have just started. That's Tigers in the pros.
What's all about rotations, Muse? Why you bring him off the bench?
I know, but he should
about
start.
Rotations.
He should start.
No, they should bring him off the bench because he's the best 6 man in the NBA. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. Hey, remember, kill mold, remove odor. Friends over at Parish Restoration, they do awesome work. If you want to get started simple, go to the website, parishrestoration.com. Just fill out the form on the homepage. They'll give you a quote. That's free for them to give you the quote. It doesn't matter if you have mold or think you might. Maybe it's odor. Or maybe you have like this sort of musky smell from the water intrusion, or maybe it's sweat or pet or smoke odor. Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Also, kill harmful pathogens, so flu, cold going around. If you've got that going around your home, your office, your business, come in, they can spray, knock out all that, kill it all. It's Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. I said musky smell, a musty smell, musty. Musk is what Champ Kind missed from Ron Burgundy. He missed his musk. It's good. You can say it. Good.
What? I didn't know what you were. I was just laughing. I didn't know what you wanted me to say there. Sorry. Yeah.
All good, Muse. They don't call him the best color man in the business for nothing.
Dynamite drop in there, Monty.
You nailed it. Good job, Muse. Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Welcome.
Yep. Start calling you Matthew O'Neill or Paul Musso.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I'm hearing a lot of dead air here, Muse.
That's fair.
I mean, this interaction is feeling a lot like if I was interacting
I'm
with
not
Paul.
doing anything. I'm not doing anything to dispel that.
No, you are not.
Yeah.
I mean, you are just cementing that opinion. It's after further review. So someone who will talk is whoever's doing the Sports Center update. They're coming up here in just a moment. And then I'll talk after the top of the hour because you know I have words to say. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. But I would also like to remind you of a great free tool that First South Farm Credit now has available. As a matter of fact, they shared this earlier today on their Facebook page. So it's on social media, and it's at their website as well. But if you go to the First South Farm Credit Facebook page, I shared it also. They have the ultimate recreational land buying guide, what to look for, what to avoid, how to finance. It's all right there on their Facebook page, the link to it. So if you want to check it out, please do so at firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com, or it's right there again on their Facebook page. You can see the link to it. Again, it's their ultimate recreational land buying guide. If you're thinking of buying land, it's a great place to start to sort of get a little bit of an idea of what to expect. firstsouthland.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. firstsouthland.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, ironworkers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding.
Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NFL Spotlight tonight is on Pittsburgh, where the Steelers and Texans will wrap up NFL Wildcard Weekend on Monday Night Football. 8 Eastern, ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. Houston's riding a 9-game winning streak, is seeking the first road playoff win in its 24-year franchise history. Pittsburgh, meantime, looking for its first postseason victory since the 2016 season. From ESPN's Adam Schefter, Packers expected to try to work out a deal in the coming days to keep coach Matt LaFleur. Green Bay likely will need to make him one of the NFL's highest paid coaches to do that. Unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
It's hard to justify that for a head coach that hasn't gotten to a Super Bowl when he's had the highest paid quarterback essentially the entirety of his tenure with your franchise. It's hard to do that when your team has gone 3 straight postseasons without winning a game.
John Harbaugh had his first formal interview since being fired by the Ravens for the Falcons' head coaching job. He's also had preliminary talks with the Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. We will talk a little bit about some of the Saints offseason needs coming up here in a smidge. Monday Night Football preview as the final game of Wild Card Weekend will take place tonight in the AFC. So we'll know the AFC playoff position picture for the divisional round. Otter will be here in about 45 minutes for Otter Locks. Remember, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Goff. An hour ago, we had both Winnie Watkins, LSU wide receiver transfer from Ole Miss, and Landon Clark, the quarterback transfer from Elon, in last hour here on the show. So if you want to catch that on demand, you can. Of course, we spent a good chunk of the first hour of the show talking about Sam Levit. If you missed the gigantic story of the day throughout the weekend, the number one player in the transfer portal, Sam Levit, did in fact commit to LSU on Monday. He took a weekend visit to Miami after being in Baton Rouge, then Knoxville, Miami over the weekend, and Lane Kiffin and his staff did an incredible job. I think he took a really bold move on Friday, flying up to Knoxville to meet Levit at the airport before he went to Miami. Maybe he had to beg and grovel and plead, and I don't know all that went into that, but LSU made a very sizable financial offer. As you might imagine, I'm told it was north of $5 million, probably close to $5.5 million for Sam Levit, which is about the going rate for a starting quarterback. I am to understand that the number is probably a little higher today than it would have been had Sam Levit committed last week. But you paid a tax for fumbling the ball a little bit last week. But Tigers got their guy. I know that there's a report today from CBS that Tennessee is still pursuing Sam Levit. They're not taking no for an answer. They're trying to finalize and formalize one final offer for Sam Levit. The best information I have as of before we came on air today is that Levit is committed, but he's not signed his contract. By the way, Landon Clark was with us, less than an hour ago. Said he's committed but hasn't signed because part of this is not that they're holding out. It's just you have agents involved, and there's a lot of redlining in these contracts. Anyone that's ever done a contract understands there's a back and forth with some of the minutia and the wording and verbiage and what does this mean and what about this provision. But the most important part of the contract, the financial terms, those are agreed upon and done. So good news for LSU there. And as the portal enters the cycle enters a 3-day dead period because of the coaches convention, it's a good opportunity to sort of step back, exhale, and sort of take the flyover at where the roster stands presently and what work is still to be done. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week is a dead period, meaning no visits on campus and coaches can't go visit recruits off campus. That's all on account of the coaches traveling to the coaches convention. So on Thursday, they'll resume with the open period where there can obviously be visits, and the dead period ends and there can be visits. So you're in that contact period. But as of this very moment, after the news of Sam Levit's commitment, the 24/7 transfer portal class rankings have your Fighting Tigers of LSU with the number 1 transfer portal class, beating out Texas, then Penn State, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss is 5, Kentucky 6. But what I would draw your attention to is, if you're looking at this on the screen, look at that column to the far right, which is the points. LSU, the points they've gotten with their class, 62.47. Texas is second at 54.15. And then Penn State at 52.53. Oklahoma State 52.22. You don't need to memorize this. Just understand there is a giant gap. There is a giant gap between LSU and Texas 1 and 2. Now, LSU does have 10 more commits than Texas. Texas is at 13 commits. LSU's at 23. But Penn State, which is next, has 32. Oklahoma State has 44. You understand? So if you just look at the average rating of the prospects in the portal, LSU is still a top 10 class. Actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe they're 7th when you just look at the average rating of the prospects. Now, a big chunk of that is you had to rebuild your roster, so you took some lower-rated prospects to build depth. And then you go to the question, do you trust the staff's evaluation, which is something we've talked about quite a bit here since all this started. If I were to look at the LSU class right now, and as of this very moment, LSU has 28 commitments via the transfer portal. They came in with 3 absolute musts. Like, you cannot leave the portal cycle without addressing these needs. And they were quarterback, because you had literally 0 on your roster. Wide receiver, because 9 receivers were out of your program, either eligibility, draft, portal, whatever. And offensive line. You lost 6 offensive linemen. So those were the spots where you had absolute non-negotiable musts. Well, look at where you stand right now. You've got 2 portal commitments, including Sam Levit, 5-star, the number 1 player in the transfer portal. The number 1 quarterback, number 1 player is committed. That's a giant win. And then Landon Clark from Elon, who picked you over Michigan, Kentucky, and then James Madison. You're going the Trinidad Chambliss route there. Now, I want to throw the caveat, because I am not telling you Landon Clark is going to be Trinidad Chambliss. I think Chambliss is the exception, not the rule. It is an outlier to see a guy come from a smaller level to play the way Trinidad Chambliss did this year, which is an amazing story. It's why it's so magnetic, because it's such an outlier. So I think you have to have realistic expectations, but understanding you're bringing in a guy with a skill set this staff likes. He'll provide depth from a guy who's played and an opportunity to grow and develop and maybe one day be a contributor for you. We'll see how that goes. But you've added 2, so you've started to rebuild that room. You still have Emil Picarella there. LSU has added 9 portal wide receivers. But the thing I think that is so important to remember when we talk about these portal wide receivers, and it's kind of become a little bit of a punchline because before LSU was getting quarterbacks, they kept signing receivers like, well, who's going to throw them the ball? Well, you have this really interesting blend of guys that are proven talents at this level, right? Jackson Harris is 6'3" from Hawaii, can blow the top off. Trey Brown from Old Dominion, another guy that's 6'3" and averages 20 yards a reception. Jace Brown from Penn State, number 3 receiver in the entire portal class. You got Trey Wilson from Florida's former 5-star. You got some top-level, high-end guys. But then you've also brought in depth. You know, Roman Mothershed's a guy that committed on Monday from Troy, and he's 6'5", 207. I talked to an NFL scout today who said that dude is a future NFL body. Like he is an NFL player. He's just got to get more experience. So you bring in a guy with 3 years of eligibility remaining who's going to be able to grow and develop. Same thing we talked about with Malik Elzy. Malik Elzy from Illinois, 6'2", played his first 2 years at Illinois, redshirted this year, so he's got multiple years of eligibility remaining. Tyree Holloway, another small school guy that you're bringing in who's a jitterbug speedster, brings you a different element. Winnie Watkins from Ole Miss. Boom, plug and play. This staff knows him, loves him. 5'10", can fly, big play waiting to happen. So you can see the diversity of that wide receiver room that they brought in. You know, they lost their top 8 guys. Or they lost 8 guys. I mean, you lost Barian Brown and Aaron Anderson and Chris Hilton and Xavion Thomas. I mean, all those guys are out of eligibility. And then you saw other guys go into the portal like Jelani Watkins and Kylan Billiot. Like you had to, Teron Francis, you had to rebuild that room with numbers. So you had to get guys that were plug and play ready to go, and you had to get depth. But one of the really interesting correlations with all these receivers is they're all guys with college experience that have multiple years of eligibility remaining. So you're not going right back into the portal again next year for one-year guys. Maybe that was one of the mistakes that the most recent portal class made. Like all of those guys at LSU signed by and large were one-year guys. Barian Brown, one-year guy. Bauer Sharp, 1 year. Jack Pyburn, Jamari Butler, Patrick Payton, A.J. Halsey. I mean, these were all one-year players. Josh Thompson, one-year player. Up and down the list, you were talking about guys they brought in via the portal, Bernard Gooden, that were one-year players. So you were losing so much of that experience, boom, right after last year. And I get it. They were all in to win a title behind us. And I'm not, this isn't with the benefit of hindsight criticizing it. It's just, because I loved the approach at the time. But we can evaluate it now and look at the contrasting, at how it contrasts and the difference of what they're doing here, which are getting players with experience that can help you right away, but also getting players with experience that are coming in for depth so you're not recycling your entire roster next year at this point again. And your depth, instead of being 18-year-old high school freshmen, your depth are 19, 20, 21-year-olds with college experience. Offensive line was the other spot where they absolutely had to address. They've added 4 offensive linemen. Before the portal opened, I told you they were going to add 3 starters on the offensive line. It's what I had been told before the portal opened. 2 guards and a tackle. I don't know if they've done that yet. Now, they added a couple of interior players in Jaquan Sprinkle and Jacoby Jones. Sprinkle from North Carolina Central, Jacoby Jones from JUCO. Over the weekend, they added William Satterwhite, spent 2 years as backup center at Tennessee. I'm told he could play guard and could very well factor in for the competition to win one of the starting guard spots. And then today, Monday, you added Darren Stray. Now, Darren Stray was a top 25 overall prospect in the country from On3 last year. He signed with Kentucky. Now, Eric Wolford, the Kentucky coach, offensive line coach, is now the LSU offensive line coach. Stray is 6'7", 310 pounds. He could very well be your starting left tackle this season. The other 2 guys you brought in with major college experience or highly regarded guys like that were Micah DeBose from Alabama, who signed with Vanderbilt, and then Mario Nash from Florida State, who signed with Mississippi State. You went with Darren Stray, who's following Wolford from Kentucky. There's knowledge there, familiarity there. I like it. So you might have your starting left tackle there in Darren Stray. You bought 3 other interior players who will be able to compete for those jobs, but I would not be surprised if they added someone with starting experience for the interior. A name to keep an eye on certainly is going to be Delano Townsend, who's started 13 games at Ole Miss this year at offensive guard. He went in the portal this weekend. That could very well be a target. That's a plug-and-play starter with SEC starting experience for you. Also keep an eye on 2 other Louisiana prospects who went in the portal from Ole Miss. Ethan Fields, who's from Dutchtown, and Devin Harper. Remember Devin Harper from Calvary Baptist up in Shreveport? Was a longtime LSU commit, flipped to Ole Miss last year, is now in the portal. Maybe another guy, because of the familiarity, you might be able to bring back to LSU. Shea Dixon says it often. There's never been more value in finishing second in recruiting than now because of the familiarity with the staff and not the staff in this case, but with the facilities and the program and the school and the university and the geography and all of it. And so maybe that might work in LSU's favor here. We also told you before the portal opened defensively, best info I had was they were going to sign single-digit defensive guys. The total number would push 30, which they're at 28 right now. They're at 7 defensive commits. The musts were on the line of scrimmage. That's where Billy Glasscock and Lane Kiffin placed the most value defensively, is on the line of scrimmage. They added 2 ends, 2 tackles, including former 5-star and Jordan Ross from Tennessee. I know a lot of people were interested in Chaz Coleman. I was told they put the same value on Jordan Ross and Chaz Coleman, made them both the same offer. Whichever wanted to commit, they take. Ross committed. Coleman kept taking visits. So Ross is coming to LSU. So they got some reserves as well on the defensive side of the ball, which would be interesting to watch some of these guys develop. Achilles Woods is a small school guy coming in. Traylon James, played at Prairie View, then this year at Southern's defensive back, 6'3" defensive back coming in again, who can sort of grow into that role. So it'll be interesting to see. They got what they needed on the defensive line, and then they went all in at safety on Ty Benefield. And he was the number 1 safety in the portal from Boise State. They got the guy they wanted in Benefield after going all in on him, and he's going to be a plug-and-play guy. I'm told that Benefield very likely is going to be your free safety, replacing A.J. Halsey. So I think the way that you'll probably see it is Benefield and Cooley will be your starting safeties. And I think Deshaun Spears probably moves to star. And you get someone with better coverage skills to play star. Look, as great as Harold Perkins was in a pass rushing role of defending in space, where he maybe was deficient in that role was in coverage. You move Deshaun Spears to star, all of a sudden you've got a really athletic guy that can run, stop at the line of scrimmage, can defend in space, can also cover. So you could see how they're piecing this thing together right now. So dead period right now. Tigers are at 28 commits. You'd love to see them add another starting offensive lineman, but they're getting pretty close to polishing off this class. We do have the roster tracker up at LouisianaSports.net. Again, LouisianaSports.net is totally free. I've encouraged you now for a while to bookmark this page. If you go to LouisianaSports.net, on the homepage, you just scroll under the top stories, you'll see the roster tracker. It lists everything. Every LSU player that's announced they're returning, the players that have entered the portal, those that have committed somewhere, it tells you where they're committing, the portal additions, who LSU has added. It's all right there. It's all free at LouisianaSports.net. So y'all go check it out, LouisianaSports.net. All right, it's After Further Review. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, Chris Olave got a really nice honor this weekend. We'll knock that around, talk about some of the other Saints' needs this offseason, and we'll get you a preview of the final game of Wild Card Weekend. Remember, if you want to get a question in, you can email us, tweet us, or text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
New year, new you. What's your New Year's resolution? You want to lose weight? You want to get in shape? Tried that before. Hasn't worked. How about you get a little help? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Matt, I don't have that problem. Doesn't matter. That's not what this is about. They do ED treatments, no doubt. And if you have ED issues, Goodwood can help. But what they do at Goodwood is so much more holistically. Hormone replacement therapy. Having trouble burning fat, building muscle, waking energy, brain fog, all that sort of stuff. Look into the benefits of hormone replacement therapy. Ladies, I'm talking to you as well. Not only at Goodwood, but Unique Aesthetics and Wellness, they have HRT for women. If you have not seen in the news in the last couple of weeks what's happened there with HRT for women, you need to educate yourself about how you can live your fullest life and your healthiest life, men and women. yourgoodwood.com. Check them out today. yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Well, much ado about nothing. The folks over at CBS Sports, who earlier today reported a late push from Tennessee. They were putting together a final offer. Matt Zenitz tweeting just a bit ago, despite a late push from Tennessee, it's trending toward former Arizona State star quarterback, top-ranked overall portal prospect Sam Levit, ultimately heading to LSU. Sources tell CBS Sports, for whatever it's worth, on 3 reporting the same thing. That shouldn't come as any great surprise to you. We put it on Twitter earlier today, mentioned it in hour 1, sort of throughout the show today. I think I don't fault Tennessee at all for the late push. But again, the way that I'm trying to think how to sort of conceptualize all this. The way that these contracts work, it's not that dissimilar. Just think of it in terms of like the NFL. Very seldom do you ever see an agreed upon contract not get executed. It's rare. I guess it can happen, but typically if it happens, it's, you'll see sometimes in the NFL like pending a physical. So the terms are agreed upon. I mean, that's the deal is done. The terms are there. Everyone put their offer on the table. Very seldom does someone come back and say, oh, wait, but. I mean, it's like if two people are engaged to be married and then the ex-boyfriend comes to the wedding the day of the wedding, or comes to the church the day of the wedding. It's like, hey, I've changed. Do you want to give me another shot? Like, bro, I'm at my wedding. Like, what are you doing? This is really weird, actually. And that's kind of, maybe that's not the best analogy, but that's kind of what Tennessee's 11th hour Hail Mary felt like here. It never felt realistic. I don't blame them for maybe taking another swing, but when the deal is done, it's done. It's been agreed upon. I mean, yes, it's true that until the ink is dry, it's, I guess, never done until it's done, like, officially till the ink is dry. But in these situations, yes, this felt like it was as soon as Levitt agreed to these terms, and it was announced earlier today that LSU had this deal done. So that's fantastic. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. You can always email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Craig on the text line said, how about Kim Mulkey's Lady Tigers taking down number 2 Texas? That was awesome, and I'll tell you why else it was awesome. It was awesome because Husan Longstreet was there in attendance, the 5-star quarterback from USC. Suffice to say, Husan Longstreet's LSU, like PMAC, right? I mean, Husan Longstreet's PMAC experience watching LSU beat number 2 and undefeated Texas, a lot better than Sam Levitt's experience. Who did LSU play the other night?
It was South Carolina that Sam Levitt was there
for. Yeah, right. And LSU got down 30 in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, those aren't really even, like, a competition there. That's not even a comparison. Husan Longstreet got the way better end of that deal.
Shout out to the folks that showed up, too, at the PMAC. That looked like an awesome atmosphere. Chelsea Reinhardt, who's one of our videographers, who we credential, covers a lot of the events for us, got a great video of, like, the call in Baton Rouge at the beginning of the game where Kim Mulkey's kind of just, like, locked in, sitting on the bench in her gold suit, and everybody's going nuts. It's all on the 104.5 ESPN socials if you want to check it out. So would highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Nice win. They needed that.
The gold suit was so good, too.
Look, I love the aggressive wardrobe. I love that, like, when Kim's walking around in everyday life, it's like sweatsuit, no makeup, this is me, respect, right? When it's go time and she's flash, Queen of Sparkles,
yep,
LFG, I'm here for it. So great win. Good for them. The men did not win this weekend, however. Another bad loss. And that's our quota for basketball today. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. I don't know, I'm kind of vacillating here. Do I want to jump back into, like, Saints offseason needs, which, I mean, everyone's sort of looking at that now with the offseason here. We've got plenty of time to do that. With the portal open, though, it's way more interesting. There is a piece up that Kat Terrell did over at ESPN.com if you want to check it out. Naturally, in offense, she talks a lot about needing to fortify the offensive line and receiver. But the biggest question on defense are your aging stars with Demario Davis and Cam Jordan. Both want to play next year, just about getting a deal done. And, I will be fascinated to see if they're able to add, any more affordable talent. For me, if I look at both sides of the ball, it's receiver on offense. You got to get a playmaking pass catcher. And then defensively, you got to get a number 1 cornerback. I don't want to sound like a broken record here. I've talked about it all season. But one of the things we learned this year, I think at this point in his career, it's safe to say that Kool-Aid McKinstry is not a number 1 corner. He's not the guy that's going to go lock down Jamar Chase, JSN, like A.J. Brown, Puka Nacua, whoever your number 1 is. If Kool-Aid is locked in on that guy, it's advantage that guy. I think Kool-Aid's an NFL corner, but probably number 2. And I think similar with Olave. I think Olave is a very good NFL receiver. I think he's also a little bit of I'll use this term loosely, but a victim of the expectation. I used to say this all the time about Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram was a good NFL running back. He left the Saints when he left, he was the franchise all-time leading rusher, although that was a low bar. But, because the Saints traded back into round one to get him, there was a loftier expectation. And the beginning of his career went so poorly, the Saints didn't even pick up his fifth-year option. It wasn't until they brought in Kamara and you were able to alleviate some of the pressure off of Ingram that he started to flourish. Like, he was not a good enough number one back. He just wasn't. It was a fact. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. It's, I would say, similar with Olave. He's not a game-breaking receiver. He's not the guy that's going to go take over a game. I think he could be a very consistent, very productive player, but I can't. This is, for me, going to be the number one question this offseason. They're going to re-sign Chris Olave, and I think they should. I'm just going to be most interested in knowing what Chris Olave's contract will be. Like, what are you willing to pay Chris Olave? You want to make him a top 20 receiver in the NFL? Like, I could be okay with that. Right on that verge. I mean, Spotrac projects a contract market value for Chris Olave at $33 million per year. 4 years, $131 is what Spotrac projects for Olave. I will throw up on this table if they give Chris Olave $131 million. Like, a guy with an injury history who doesn't make contested catches, no. Like, I'm not interested in that at all. But I fear they're gonna. I mean, they compare him to T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson, Jamison Williams. I would take literally any of those four, any of them, over Olave. All have better size, better explosiveness, ability to win one-on-ones. That's not him. So I have a feeling that whenever the Saints do re-sign Chris Olave, because I do think that's going to happen this offseason, I think you're going to hear me bitch and moan a lot. Like, they're going to hear me on Airline Drive because they're going to dramatically overpay. And I'm going to mark the tape, and we're going to talk about it until his contract is over, how much they overpaid for Chris Olave. I would rather give him a deal requisite with being an elite number 2 and go draft your game-breaking wide receiver. That's my hope. See if they do it. I'm not optimistic, by the way, because old Gumsmack and Mick's running the show. And I'm sure he'll just reset the market there with Olave. Why not? All right. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. Jimmy's going to be here in about 15 minutes to give us a pick on the playoff game tonight. I'll give you a quick preview, and we'll get to your questions. So if you got questions or comments, get them in now for this segment coming up. We are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. New certified pre-owned. Remember, go see Mr. Kerry Manuel, who's the certified pre-owned manager over there. If you're looking for a new vehicle, great. South Point Volkswagen's got the best selection of brand new Volkswagens. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. But because they move so much inventory, people trade in their old vehicles. And it's not just Volkswagens, all makes and models. You want to shop them online? Go to SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. Say it every day. If it's on the lot, it's online at SouthPointVW.com. Hit the new or used vehicles tab. You'll see the entire inventory right there online. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, it is after further review. Quick break. When we come back, get to your questions. Got portal questions, all that stuff. Get them in. Email us, tweet us, text us, and quick snapshot preview of Monday Night Football tonight. Final game of the opening round of Wild Card Weekend. The divisional round will be set after tonight. We'll give you a thumbnail preview of it next on AFR.
AFR.
And I drove by the Cleggs on Greenwell Springs today, as a matter of fact. Shout out to our friends at Rouse's. Opened up the new Rouse's in Central. So I was driving out there for the ribbon cutting and passed right by Cleggs on Greenwell Springs. If you're not familiar, the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs is one of 4 great Cleggs Nursery locations. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Was looking at Facebook earlier today, and I always encourage you to follow Cleggs on Facebook because whenever they have new shipments or new inventory in. They always do a great job of posting photos and what is new on their Facebook page. So 5 and 15-gallon citrus trees with shipments arriving daily. Beautiful. This is the time. If you're thinking about planting a citrus tree, this is the time with the cooler weather that you want to get those in the ground. So a great opportunity to get by that Clegg's Nursery citrus tree. You could do it at any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Buy local, shop local. Clegg's Nursery.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no 2 cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
One thing I really love, and it's kind of the antithesis of where I was, is there's not really any leaks in the boat. Every year you have difficulties and adversity, both on the field and off the field. And to go through a season like this and to be able to focus on football and not have a lot of other little bullshit out there has been really nice.
That's Aaron. Steelers and Texans will wrap up Wild Card Weekend on Monday Night Football. By the way, Muse and I were talking about this before the show. It is a fundamental absurdity that whoever wins this game is going to have a short week in the NFL, in the playoffs. Like, I just think of it in these terms. If that were my team, I'd be pissed. Like, if the Saints won a wild card game and then had to go play in the divisional round on short rest. And whoever wins this game, well, no, I guess not Houston. Like, if Houston, would they have to travel? Like, what if you, like, on a short week and then have to travel as well? I haven't looked at the bracket to know how it would go.
I'm doing it right now.
But it would just be, God, it would suck immensely because Denver's the number one
Right.
So so Denver's going to play.
Denver's playing the Bills, so the winner of this travels to New England.
Right. So, that's right. New England's a 2 seed. So you win this game, you have a short week, and you have to travel.
Mm. It's kind of the same thing on Saturday when you play on Saturday, just in reverse. Because you played that Sunday, and then you have a short week for your game Saturday. I mean, that's what the Bears and Packers had to do it, and I get it. It's TV, right? I mean, that's what it is. It's TV, so they can have every game in a TV window. But it is, man. It's freaking NFL playoffs. It's the most important postseason out there. What are we doing?
I'd be pissed. And the Saints did that in 2009. I'm sure there have been other years, but just the first one that jumps into my mind is they played the game against the Cardinals in the divisional round. They played on a Saturday. The game in 2011 that they lost to the Niners was a Saturday as well in the divisional round. So they had to play the week before because they played in 11. They played Detroit in the game in the Dome that they won, and then had to go to San Francisco in the divisional round. But whatever. You're right. It's TV. I mean, it's what it is. They're trying to own every TV window, and it makes sense, and everybody's going to watch. We're all going to watch. But the whole Monday Night Football thing in the NFL playoffs, it's brutal. So anyway, I'm going to watch, and I'm looking forward to it. Jimmy's got his plays up at LouisianaSports.net. If you want to go check him out, they're there. I'm not going to spoil it because he'll be here in 5 minutes. Suffice to say, Jimmy is predicting an absolute abomination of a football game. I mean, it is just like unders across, prop bets, just unders across the board. He's thinking there's going to be just a hideous football game, which it may very well be. By the way, D'Amico Ryans, the head coach of the Texans, here's what he had to say on Aaron.
He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been at the highest level, right? And he's done that because he's such a cerebral guy that we talked about earlier. He's very smart, understands disguises, understands coverages, knows the weaknesses of those coverages and where you're supposed to be. So for us, as you face him for our defense, guys just have to understand it's not about Aaron Rodgers. It's just about playing your defense, make him have to deal with us. They're good players. They got a good team, good offensive unit. We have a good defense.
See you tonight, Monday Night Football, Steelers and Texans. It'll do a giant number. Excited to see, man. Texans, great defensive team. And, man, I am really fascinated to see how the AFC shakes out this year without the usual suspects hanging around. No Lamar Jackson, no Patrick Mahomes. This is finally the year that Josh Allen breaks through. Maybe, but their defense is so bad. Denver they've won a bunch. Feels a little bit like fool's gold. Is Bo Nix really the guy that's going to get it done and push him through in the playoffs? Don't know, but it's going to be fascinating to see. I mean, Houston with that defense travels. I like Houston in the game tonight. It'll be fascinating to see if maybe Houston can kind of go on a run and make a run through the AFC. All right, it's after further review. I made a run earlier today to Rouse's. Shout out Rouse's. They opened up in Central today. Paul's excited about that. You going on your way home, Paulie? Going to go check out that new Rouse's on Jura?
I actually do need to go.
There you go. They opened up 2 new Rouse's today. They announced previously that Rouse's had bought 10 Winn-Dixie stores, so they're flipping them into Rouse's. That brings them up to 76 Rouse's locations. The 2 that opened today were Destrehan and Central. So I went to the Central location today. I bought 2 things. You want to guess what they are, Muse? 2 things I bought. I told you one of them.
Yeah, you told me sardines.
I bought sardines.
I guess sardines.
I bought sardines.
Evermore's the next thing.
You're damn right.
Let's go.
And you know what happened? I'm walking out of that Rouse's, and a guy stops me and goes, "Hey, you actually buy what you say?" Yeah, I do. I bought the 4-pack of 64-ounce bottles of Evermore. That's what I do. And you get them at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. And you get king cakes. But trying to be good and abstain, which is also a fool's errand this time of year. Because as a former fat kid, even having lost the weight now, you walk by. Do you walk into Rouse's? You walk by king cake at Original Cinnamon? Just give me the little personal one. Not the big one, because the big one then you're going to eat. You can eat the whole thing no matter what, right? You're going to eat the whole king cake. So just give me the little one, the little personal one, and then I can rock that. Because if I get the big one, I'm going to sit there and eat it all in one sitting. It's going to be gone before the night's over.
One sitting?
Well, before the night's over.
Okay. I was about to say once. You're going to make yourself sick doing that.
Doesn't matter.
They are. They're really good, dude.
Doesn't matter. You a plain king cake guy? You like filling?
I like it all. Like, I really don't discriminate.
You only get one for the rest of your life. What is it?
If I only get one, I'm getting strawberry cream cheese. But, I mean, I will eat it all.
That's an aggressive play. So you're going to get sick of the strawberry cream cheese at some point. Like, if you get one for the rest of your life, you're going to get sick of that. And you can't scrape. I mean, you could try to scrape it out of the middle. But at least the plain, like, cinnamon, you're never going to go wrong. Like, you want a cinnamon roll? Yeah, I want a cinnamon roll. That's what a king cake is.
That's true.
Like, I don't know, man. All these people try to tell me about a king. It's a cinnamon roll. That's what it is. It's a cinnamon roll. That's all it is.
It's so good.
It's a cinnamon roll with pretty icing. That's it. Yeah. That's all it is.
And filling, if that's the way you like to go.
I don't.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Yeah, I don't. But if you do, go to Rouse's. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. Let's see. Marvin on the text line said, how many quarterbacks should LSU want to have on the roster? Is Colin Hurley still an option? No, Colin Hurley is not still an option. And I'll continue to say you have to view this like an NFL roster. You're going to have your starter and you're going to have your backup. You would love to have, in college, obviously, because you can't go into free agency or sign someone off the wire, off of the street if you need an extra body. You'd love to have at least three. But I think the idea of having like 4 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster, that's just not going to happen anymore. Brandon asked if Sam Levitt was still up in the air. No. The report earlier today from CBS that Tennessee was preparing one final offer just in the last half hour. Both CBS, On3, everybody's now reporting that is off the table. Sam Levitt is going to stick with his LSU commitment, which was pretty obvious. And I think there was one more I wanted to answer. You can always text us 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Can't find it, doesn't matter. All right, it's after further review. Let's knock out our final break. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Final break, come back. Jimmy will be here for Otterlock. Stick around.
AFR.
Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They're complete employer solutions. 2026 is here, y'all. If you're a business owner, you know you got goals set for 2026, lofty goals. And achieving those lofty goals probably involves having the right people in your organization to maximize productivity. Say it all the time, but it's true. Maybe you're looking for skilled blue-collar labor. That's where Glow Resources, that's their specialty. Finding those people, and not just people to do a job temporarily, but permanent solutions. And one of the reasons in part that they're so good at what they do is that Glow Resources, over the course of a year, they'll conduct some 15,000 interviews. By the way, they have never once ever had a negative review on an interview. They know the right questions to ask to find the right people to make your productivity soar. GLO, glowresources.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Lockmere to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmere to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR. We are presented by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, windows, door, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
I rage bet last night on Sunday Night Football because I lost in the second game.
Uh-huh.
And I went so ridiculously heavy on New England.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was not good. Yes, but no, because when you win one of those, that's the type that should probably teach you a lesson, like don't do that. And I hit.
Yeah.
So I need to be talked down to just doing something more responsible today.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm considering an all-in 3-leg parlay for your picks for tonight's Monday Night Football game. Let's go. All in.
Here we go. Mike Tomlin winning record again in the playoffs again, but the last 6 playoffs have been all losses. Slow starters in those playoff games as well. First quarter scoring, the last 6 playoff games for the Steelers have been outscored 73-0 combined. So a slow starting team. I do not think this is the defense to get your offense right. I'm going to give a pass, in the Raiders game where they were right there against Houston. Riley Leonard in Week 18. Those games are tricky when you think pretty much everything is settled. And I think Houston's defense is going to have a big night tonight against an obviously aging Aaron Rodgers. I also, if you have to throw in a single-game parlay, you need a third leg for Houston in the under. I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers. 203 is roughly his passing yardage total. I would go under that as well. So
okay.
I think first 2 games on Saturday went over. All 3 games yesterday went under. So I like to play the unders in every game this round. So rough start, but right now 3-2. I will go with the under again. So Houston under. And maybe first quarter line if you get a third, if that allows your third leg, or again under Aaron Rodgers passing yards.
By the way,
it's paid like 250 with a boost over at DraftKings.
Aaron right now is 210.
Yeah, that's a good number. Good.
It's even money, Otter.
Yeah, the under is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I only do those when you force them to throw that third leg into the single game parlay boost. But it's available pretty much everywhere, at a lot of different sites today.
Okay. All right. All right. So
Houston Texans. Houston Texans. Love you, Blue.
Love you, bub. Houston Texans laying the 3, total under 38.5, and Aaron under on his passing yards. Get a pretty good number on that right now.
And I will say, Matt, there you're getting light juice, so you might even wait. But there is a 2.5 out there right now in Houston. So,
oh man,
yeah.
Okay.
The late action, the late movement is on the Steelers, getting some Steelers support.
All right. Then forgive me, Otter. No, that's right. Yeah, 210 is where it is right now with AA Ron. All right, where are you tomorrow?
All right, we're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson.
All right, man. Good luck. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, be well. That's Jimmy. It's after further review. Big shout out as always to Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding. They do shutters too. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. So I remember with the one thing that someone asked that I forgot that I was going to get to. Someone was asking what the NFL draft declaration deadline is. Well, it's the 14th. It's coming up in 2 days on Wednesday. So for players that want to enter their name into the NFL draft, the deadline is on Wednesday, the 14th. I don't know that there are any other LSU players that were waiting on an announcement from. The one that was lingering was Braylon Moore. But again, I was told last weekend that they had agreed to terms. It was just redlining the contract, and they finalized that, got it signed, and announced it on Sunday that Braylon Moore is coming back. So I don't know that LSU's waiting on anyone else, but that draft declaration deadline is on Wednesday. The most fascinating player I think that we're going to keep an eye on is what happens with Ty Simpson, because there was a report over the weekend from AL.com that Simpson has an offer north of $5 million, someone said $6.5 million, potentially to come back and play another season. That reeks to me of an agent leaking a number to see if he gets a bite. And it would stand to reason that Miami would be the school now without a quarterback. Would they pay $5.5, $6 million for Ty Simpson for a year? Maybe. So that's the one that's the most interesting to me to move to follow. All right, got to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Our Lady of the Lake Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU Championship Health Partners, they are synonymous. When you think LSU, think Our Lady of the Lake. When you think Our Lady of the Lake, think LSU. Of course, our friends over at the Lake are such amazing partners, Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics, but also, for Louisiana State University. Of course, you got the LSU Student Center contract. The Our Lady of the Lake physicians take care of the LSU student body. And whatever you may need, access and convenience. The Lake After Hours clinics are a great resource, this time of year. Sniffles, cold. I told you during the Christmas break, it was late at night. Erica wasn't feeling well. Took her to one of the Lake After Hours clinics. Turned out she had strep throat. Or maybe it's your everyday care, if it's specialized care for cancer or stroke or pediatrics. It's Our Lady of the Lake. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we rule.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.